friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today is Vlogmas Day 4, and for you today I have a few Hostess gift ideas. We all have Christmas gatherings, Christmas parties, and if you're anything like me, you like to take a little something for the hostess. But everybody takes a candle or, you know, fancy hand soap, something like that. I was trying to think outside the box a little bit and do things that were a little bit different. One of them's a classic, but the other two, maybe a little bit different. So I'm going to show you the 3 things that I have for Hostess gifts this year for the parties that we are going to. So our first Hostess gift is called Dinner and Dishes. Now, I do not have any real gift cards right now that I can use, so I just printed out some graphics that we're going to pretend with. What you need some festive paper plates and coordinating napkins, whatever you like. You'll need the gift card to the place of your choice. If you know what someone's favorite restaurant, favorite takeout place is, then you're ahead of the game. You can just go pick that up. And then you'll need the little printable that I made. I will link it down below. It says, "To make this Christmas more merry and bright, let us cover dinner and dishes tonight." So you have your gift card for your takeout. You have your dishes. So you are essentially covering dinner and dishes. And this is how easy it is. I'll use this one, I guess. We'll use the snowman. What we're going to do is just... let's see what color ribbon. You need some curling ribbon or any kind of ribbon, I guess, too. Of course, mine's all discombobulated here. Wouldn't be a Joni video without a little bit of a hot mess. Am I right? I'm right. So let's get out some ribbon. And usually the gift cards come like on a little holder with a hole in the top. But because we're just pretending, I'm going to poke a hole in that. And plus, it'll be a little bit bigger, too. You have to remember. And we're going to poke a hole in the top of our card. We are just going to place our napkins right on top of our plate. Tie that together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tape our napkins to our paper plate because everything is very slippery because it is wrapped in plastic. So I'm just going to give a little bit of assurance here for when I put the ribbon around. There we go. That'll hold it so I can tie the ribbon nicely. Just going to put the ribbon over the top, crisscross it in the back. And then bring it up. You know what? It's easier if the ribbon's cut off the roll, but I wasn't sure how long I needed it, so I didn't cut it. But we're going to cut it. And hopefully it'll be the right length, because it makes it easier. Now, to make life even easier, you can secure your ribbon with a tiny little piece of tape, because it will be covered up. Take it around the back, crisscross it in the back. Your fingers don't want to work today. And then just bring it up. And we're going to give it a tie there. Make that nice and tight. If you have someone that can put their finger there for you, all the better. If not, well, do the best you can. Not very tight, but that's okay. You get the gist. And you know what? We can just add a little piece of tape on there because it's going to be covered anyway. Then you're going to just take your gift card, string that right on. Take your card, string that right on. Now, if you have the kind of gift card like this that doesn't have the nice little holder or backing to it, you can just take a piece of cardstock and cut it bigger than the gift card and attach the gift card to that. That will work perfectly. And we're just going to tie this again. I did make this ribbon kind of long. And then we're just going to give it a good curl. Take those extra pieces of ribbon. Oh, my hands do not want to work today. Put those right in there. And we're going to curl those. Now you can get as fancy as you want with this ribbon. You can use some beautiful satin ribbon, some beautiful holiday ribbon. I was just trying to go for what I had laying around the house and what was easy and what I think other people may have laying around the house. And there we go, our first Hostess gift. Dinner and dishes on us. Our next Hostess gift is going to be Christmas morning pancakes. Basically, you're making a homemade pancake mix, gifting it into a jar with instructions, and you can even add a little thing of syrup if you'd like. So we're starting with 6 cups of all-purpose flour. We're adding in a 1/4 cup of sugar. Then we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of baking powder. And 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And then 1 teaspoon of salt. We are going to give this a really, really good mix. You want to make sure all the ingredients are thoroughly mixed. Now, if you want, I'm going to put this in a mason jar. If that's not something you want to do, you can put it in like some kind of cute food grade plastic bag and tie it with a ribbon or something like that. But I am going to use a wide mouth quart mason jar. You definitely want something airtight. If you're going to use a bag, I wouldn't put it in the bag until you're ready to gift it. Okay, let's get this in our jar. I have a wide mouth quart jar, and we are just going to start filling this. We're going to put our lid on and we're going to set that aside. We're going to get another jar. This is a small 4-ounce jar. And we are going to fill that with syrup. Now, for video purposes, I'm filling it with my pure maple syrup. This needs to be refrigerated once opened, so this probably wouldn't be your best bet unless you told the hostess immediately to put that part in the refrigerator. Otherwise, you can just get like some Aunt Jemima or some table syrup. Now we need to place our label. So when we place our label, I'm using a true canning jar. So mine is raised. It says ball here. It's got measurements here. It's got a design here and has measurements here. If you get some mason jars like from the Dollar Tree, they're usually plain and you can adhere a label right to it. If I were to adhere a label right to this, it wouldn't look good. I looked for a jar and didn't see one. I may look again because that is really what I want to do. I want to adhere the label right to the jar, but not necessary. If you have these kind of jars, we can just tie it around the neck of the jar and let it hang. So let me go get that label and we will finish this off and get it put together. Okay, so we put our little syrup right on top. And then we have our printable. I will link that below. And like I said, because I have a jar that has, what's the word I'm looking for? On it. I'm going to just tie my printable around using some kitchen twine. You can use ribbon. Use whatever you want, but I'm just going to use some kitchen twine. Did not even make it even. That's okay. And then we're going to take some pretty decorative ribbon, anything you like. I'm going to use this ribbon from the Dollar Tree that looks like a candy cane. Now, to make this a little more stable, you can either glue or use some glue dots or some tape for that syrup. And honestly, I probably would if I was taking this somewhere. But for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to do that. But I would recommend that you do. And then we are just going to tie this. Once again, if you have somebody else that maybe can put their finger there for you and get it nice and tight, that would be a good thing, because see, mine's not tight. There we go. Perfect. And then you can do this however you want. You can do a little bow. You can just, if you have nice stiff ribbon, you can just kind of let the ends stick up a little bit. But I'll just do a little bow up there. And then just to secure it, the ribbon, I'm going to put a little piece of tape on the bottom. Just to hold our ribbon on. That's not going to hold anything else on. So like I said, you might want to just secure that to the top. But I think that looks absolutely darling. And I think it's a great gift for someone because personally, I like consumable gifts. You know, we don't use scent in our house, so I don't use candles or anything like that. But to me, a consumable gift is the best gift around. Reduces clutter, and who doesn't love pancakes? So that is Hostess gift number 2. For the last of our Hostess gifts, we are pulling out an old classic, the cookie mix in a jar. This is a good old-fashioned staple. It's a classic, and honestly, people like getting it. You can just give the jar and have them deal with the wet ingredients, or you can put the jar in a basket and add the wet ingredients in as well. It's up to you. But we are starting with 1 2/3 cup of flour into a mixing bowl. I also think it's fun to make the cookies, give the jar of mix along with a baggie of the cookies that it makes. But that's just me. Then we are going to put in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. and a half a teaspoon of baking soda. We are going to give this a really good mix. Oh, I'm sorry, and a quarter teaspoon of salt. Going to give this a good mix. And then we are going to pour this into the bottom of a quart mason jar. I'm using a wide mouth. I just think that's a little bit easier. Let's adjust you a little bit here. You want to, I'm using a canning funnel. A funnel is definitely a good thing to use. You can take a paper plate, one of those like cheap kind, roll it up and use that as a funnel. You could use a piece of cardstock or a canning funnel if you have one. Even if you are not a canner, I recommend having a canning funnel in your kitchen because it can be used for so many things. Okay, I'm just going to give this a little shake just to even it out. And we're going to layer the rest of our ingredients in there. After the flour mixture, we're going to add in a half a cup of sugar and a half a cup of firmly packed brown sugar. I'm going to add in our half a cup of granulated sugar, and I'm going to pour it slowly and around, because you want all your layers to be nice and even, because you want this to look pretty. And give it a little shake and check it. See? Now I do use the organic cane sugar, so my sugar is a little bit of a different color, so you can really see the difference. We're going to add in total 1 1/3 cup of M&Ms, but I'm only going to add 1 cup in now. And I'm going to put the other third on the top. Now these are the mini M&Ms. It's all I could get. I'm sure they'll be fine. They were all out of the other ones already. On top of the 1 cup of M&Ms, we're going to add our brown sugar. And that's 1/3 of a cup packed. I'm just going to tamp that down a little bit. This looks so pretty. I'm going to show you from the side for sure. And then we're going to put in our last 1/3 of the M&Ms. So this took an entire 10-ounce bag of the mini M&Ms. You can also substitute part chocolate chips if you don't want to use all M&Ms. Okay, there it is. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now we are going to put our lid on it, but we just don't want a regular canning lid on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this aside. I'm going to take my flat, and this is just a used flat, and I'm going to trace it and cut it out. Now I am a horrible cutter, so it is not going to be perfect. I know that. What I should do, if I was making a lot of them, I would probably do this on my Cricut and let the Cricut cut it out and do the inside of the circle, not the whole outside, but for all intents and purposes and Vlogmas videos, we are just doing it this way because not everyone has a Cricut. Now, you can also take fabric and cut out a big circle of fabric. You've seen that done before, I am sure. And you put the fabric over the lid and then screw down the band. I didn't have any Christmas fabric. Shocking. But I didn't. And I'm just going to use a glue stick. Just glue that right on there. Oops, maybe not. There we go. We are going to put our band right around there. And then I have a printable of the instructions. We're going to tie that around with some kitchen twine, and our Hostess gift will be ready to go. Okay, now just to finish this off, I printed out the recipe, just plain, because I'm going to use the rest of our paper to make a little tag. We're just going to put some glue on the back. Put it down on our paper. You can make it as big or as small as you want. And then we're going to cut that out. You can just use scissors, of course, but I have a handy dandy paper cutter, so I might as well use it. Okay, this is a little bit big. I should have cut it, I should have made it a little smaller, but I didn't. So we're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna poke a hole in there. I'm just gonna use some kitchen twine. You can use pretty ribbon or yarn, whatever you have laying around. And I'm just going to tie this on. Try to make it a little bit even. Oops, I told you these fingers tonight do not want to work. And then we'll just tie it in a little knot or a little bow, whatever it is you want to do. And there it is. Like I said, I definitely want to make that a little bit smaller next time. But there is our cookie in a jar. So friends, there you have it. There is our 3 easy Hostess gifts. And very customizable, especially the dinner and dishes one. You know, whatever kind of gift card you want to put on there, whatever kind of plates and napkins you want to use. And we have our Christmas morning pancakes, so fun, and our classic cookies in a jar. You can't go wrong with that, because who doesn't love cookies? So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some inspo if you have holiday parties to go to and want to take some Hostess gifts with you. I'm trying to decide which ones I am going to take to which party, because we do have several this year, but all good. That's it. That's all I have for you for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys in the next Vlogmas video.